Hello everyone, and welcome back to BGATVHT, the show where we do gaming commentaries every other day. And on today's episode, well, it's the biggest thing right now. Yesterday, Google announced Stadia, their brand new streaming service that is not a box, it is not an app on another box, it is something, as they say, Stadia is not a box, it is a place, which I think that's a little weird, but anyway, yeah, so it's apparently we all knew that Google was doing something with gaming. It was tested back in the end of 2018 with the Project Stream, which was, as confirmed in an interview today, the prototype for Stadia. But now, Stadia, as it's called, this plural of stadium, is a streaming service launching sometime in the rest of 2018 that will allow you to play games on the service across Google Pixels, Google Chromecasts, Chromebooks, and Chromeboxes. It will have its own controller, which looks more like the PS4 controller with a more polished, kind of spin on it, if you ask me. It connects directly to the Wi-Fi, which making the latency level go down. You can actually still play with your current PS4 or Xbox One controller or a mouse and keyboard, but the optimal way to play would be with a Stadia controller. Google CEO Sundar Pichai says, quote, "With Google, your games will be immediately discoverable by 2 billion people on a Chrome browser, Chromebook, Chromecast, or Pixel device. And we have plans to support more browsers and platforms over time." As he says, the Chrome browser will be the main interface to access the service on a laptop or desktop computer. Along with Stadia having its own controller, it can use any other controller such as the PS4 or Xbox One controllers. With Chromecast, you can turn your TV into a Stadia. Google's controller uses Wi-Fi, so you may not need a newer model of Chromecast. It seems that Google won't have it on all Android phones at launch, but may at some point. For now, it's only relegated to Pixels. Now, my opinion. This could be a real game changer for all of gaming. This service, I think, will probably be like Steam. You don't pay for Steam, but you just pay for the games you get in Steam. The games may even be cheaper because you're not downloading them anymore. You're just kind of playing something. Cross-platform play and cross-saves are among some of the other things that they said would be on the system at the presentation. Crowd play is a brand new feature where you can actively queue up with live YouTubers to be placed in their game. It would work for smaller streamers, but someone like Shroud? No, 1% of those people, if that, would be able to play. Another problem would be if it is priced. You're already paying for a Chromecast / Chromebook / a normal computer, and then you have the Chrome browser. In the demonstration, they used apparently the worst computer on the market, and it ran pretty good. Of course, anything that's streamed will run good if it's on good internet, but it seems pretty good. It will be an app in the App Store or a tab in your browser. On a Chromecast? I don't know. I guess we'll find out, though. So yeah, that's the basics of this new streaming service. Some other things that I didn't mention in my notes. There are actually, if you watch the presentation, all of that stuff, all of the gameplay and stuff, they apparently had a problem where they couldn't actually run it on the they couldn't run it off of just like a recorded thing, so they actually had to do it in real time. So what you saw there was actual gameplay. Another thing is they showed not only Doom Eternal, but actually Doom 2016 gameplay. No one seemed to show that in like rewinds of the presentation, but you could actually go and on a video from Polygon, I think it was, they did show that there was a kind of like there was a demo of a mission from Doom 2016 playing, which played great, mind you. I mean, when it started, it had like 2 stutters, but that was it. Everything else in the game looked beautiful. 1080p, 60 FPS, crisp gameplay. Now, who knows what this was run on? It obviously could have been actual Stadia gameplay, or it could have been something else, but I think it might have actually been Stadia gameplay. People in the comments were saying that it stuttered like every 3 seconds. I watched the gameplay, that's a complete lie. So if you see stuff like that, that are saying it's so horrible, it's probably not going to run well, they probably haven't looked at all the information, because there is information saying that it should run really well. Supposedly, someone else actually got a behind-the-scenes demo. It was this one website I've never seen before. Said they got a behind-the-scenes demo for Doom 2016, which might have been the thing that was on Polygon's channel. I don't know really if it was, but they said the frame rate was dropping like to PowerPoint presentation speeds, which I don't know if that's real or not. And he said that they restarted the computer and it all went perfectly. And well, I mean, that's actually what they said, is like, you're gonna have some risks if you're streaming games. Well, honestly, just, yeah, you're gonna have risks anyway. If you're running on bad internet now with regular game systems, duh, you're gonna have those problems. I don't think streaming games will be any different. And actually, with the way they showed it at the presentation, it seems like it'll be a very interesting take on the Switch concept, where it's like, it's a portable, and then you put it in the thing and take off the controllers, put them in a controller slot, and, well, now it's a home console, but it was a handheld before. Well, Google's kind of taking their same kind of hat in with that concept and saying you can play this on a computer, you can stop playing, turn it off, or even keep it on. Get on your phone, go to the Google Stadia app, launch, like, they used Assassin's Creed Odyssey, so let's say Assassin's Creed. What the frick? Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm recording and this thing comes up on screen. Okay, anyway, so it's like, they put, you stop playing on a computer, you like pause the game, so then you launch Stadia on your like Google Pixel 3 or whatever number it's on, I forgot. And then it like launches you into Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which then you're running around back right where you left off on the computer with keyboard and mouse, but on your phone with controls. Now, I don't know, this is a concept I had where maybe later on they might have an accessory for the Stadia controller itself, which I'll also talk about in a minute, which is actually able to then hook up and you're playing on your phone screen with the controller wherever you want. And as I said, it's internet connected, not Bluetooth, so that does have some latency issues removed then. Of course, they said you can still use any other controller you want with it, other brand or otherwise, or keyboard and mouse, but the latency won't be as good. The latency level won't be as good with external controllers than using Google's own controllers. Now, the things that I, for some reason, did not mention in my notes, which is a really stupid thing, by the way, because it's one of the coolest things, is so on the Stadia controller, and you'll probably be seeing a picture of the Stadia controller up on screen, but it has a button which is a Google Assistant specifically designed for gaming. You click the button and you're like, "Hey Google Assistant, I'm stuck on this dungeon. Can you help me out?" Or something like that. Or I'm stuck on this dungeon, and then you and then it sees what dungeon you're on, goes to YouTube, searches that up on your TV. It'll say like, "Here's the best result," and then it has this video playing of someone actually beating the dungeon in game, in within seconds too. There's actually two other Stadia YouTube combined features. One of them is this place where it's like called crowd play, where you're watching a streamer on YouTube. Wait, I actually mentioned this in game. I mean, it's in video. But anyway, like I said, you can't use that to. You can't. It's not good for bigger streamers. Anyway, the other part that I didn't talk about was really cool. So you'll basically the example they used in the presentation was you're watching the newest trailer for Assassin's Creed Odyssey. The trailer ends and there's a button that says play on Stadia. You click that and within 5 seconds you're in game and can control it. That's really cool. Another thing they said was something like player states or time states or something kind of weird like that, where you could actually save your game at a time and space. It saves all your data, and then you can post that to social media and be like, "Hey, beat this time I put up here." And then you click on the link, it brings you into the game at that time, and you're into playing. Now, this is a really cool concept, and I'm not saying it's gonna work out perfectly, and there couldn't be some big problems with this, but this seems very promising. Also, I also didn't mention this. Google has first-party studios. It's Stadia Games and Entertainment, I believe. And they seem like, in the interview I read about, there did seem to be some indication that they would be making some pretty big first party games that would kind of be like Google's version of God of War or something. Which I'm down for that. Using the Stadia's capability, they also said one of the capabilities will be that in a game, and you're playing like 4 players, you can have your screen, and then above that, you can have little icons showing you the gameplay of the other 4 players in your game. Now, that can be really useful in a game like, I don't know, Apex, where someone's like, "Oh, I'm getting shot, I'm getting shot." So you look into the other screen up in the corner, and it's like, "Oh, hey, that person's over there, that far away from me, and that's where they are," so you can better position yourself and be able to shoot the people. Another thing was that they said with Stadia and streaming in general, they would be able to turn 100 player battle royale into 1,000 player battle royale. Now, I'm not saying that's a good idea, because it definitely isn't. Like, no one would want that. Those games would take too freaking long. Like, what would that be? Like a 2-hour game? I mean, 1,000 people, 999 people have to die in a game. Imagine like how big that map would be. Yeah, sure, like every place would be concentrated with people, but I mean, just I am not really up for that yet. I am good with 100 or better yet 60 players like Apex, or even a smaller amount. Honestly, just 1,000 players in a battle royale just makes me gag, because that does not sound like a good idea whatsoever. So yeah, that's basically all the information we have on Stadia right now. It's really cool. I'm really looking forward to it. Uh, And if the internet requirements aren't bad and it actually does run at 1080p 60 FPS all the time. Oh yeah, they did say 8K would eventually be supported, but if 1080p 60 FPS or 4K 60 FPS can be run with pretty decent internet, then that's going to be a hard deal to buy, to pass up. I mean, think about it. You're in the console generation right now, PS4, Xbox One, Switch. Well, I honestly have no idea or really care what Nintendo does. I'm gonna play their games anyway. Like, just give me a way to play the newest Nintendo game, and I'll probably get it at some point. Because come on, it's Nintendo. Most of their first party games are really good. But think about it. You get like a PlayStation 5 to play God of War 2 or Horizon Zero Dawn 2 or Spider-Man 2. You have like one system that you have that, but for everything else, you're on Stadia. You're using a Google Chromecast, or you're using a laptop or a Chromebook uh, with pretty dang good internet to run games that way instead. This may even be a cheaper way to do that now. Oh my gosh. It's going to be really interesting to see where this all goes. There's a good possibility that this might be the next system I get. Well, not system, but just service. And 2019, dang, that might even be getting a head start on Microsoft and Sony there with their streaming services, or just next consoles in general, because you're gonna be at least half a year out when you make that full announcement. Because I think if you do it like in a 1 month or 2 month span, it's gonna be something like the Saturn, except on a much less scale, where it's like, hey, psych, the system's coming out today instead of like in a few months. And so all the big retailers went, no, we're not selling your system if you're gonna do that again. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the Stadia, and as more information comes out, I will be covering it, because this is going to change gaming probably. Like, not even just gaming, but just the internet as a whole, with how intimately connected YouTube is with the Stadia at this current state that we see before our eyes today. So yeah, I guess that's about it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. And this is Brandon from Big Large Gaming, signing off. Goodbye.